Hi, Dr. Harden here with a brief behind the scenes of the Doctored Up podcast.
It's turning too far up. But I do need to hide my this wagon I'm dragging. This is that stuff. So lean your head this way. Not blocking.
Yeah, I know this is all video, right?
Oh Lord.
You see, it's a video. Ain't no picture.
Take a picture.
Well, I mean, I know that's the control box over there.
Let there be fire. Let there be light.
I can do that now.
I hear you.
But that's, the
That's scary.
the control panel is over there behind the camera. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if I had bumped it.
It's fine.
But you need two at the same time. So that while we're
Oh, so
filming
the iPads?
once, you have two angles. And then obviously the vocals continue no matter which angle of the camera you use.
We're gonna have to go.
We can't do it here though.
What?
We can't do it right here.
What? The sitting and talking.
Yeah, because it's gonna be too much traffic.
We could do one in the rooms maybe.
Yeah. I don't think no
Or
So at this point, we were weighing the pros and cons of
we have to.
filming and trying to record in a large space. We knew there might be traffic, or maybe the lighting wouldn't be right. We also had to think about the acoustics and if the echo would be too much. Our equipment was right behind us, and we decided to do a test run on that. First, we took a few pictures, played around a little bit just to see which frame we wanted, and we ultimately realized and ultimately decided that we definitely needed a smaller room, and this is what you will see next.
Well, all right then.
Can we hear the music? Go crazy. Go crazy.
So we found a smaller room, filmed a practice run, and reviewed the footage to critique ourselves.
Him in a way, but he still, if you saw this man walking around, he just seemed like a, accomplished elderly gentleman, very well put together, very well spoken, and
I wasn't the best by any measure, but once I made it out of high school and then a school saw interest in me and thought that I could attend and be successful in college, I went there. Like, the one thing I learned, people used to come into my office and I had to tell them, because the belief, I used to believe this too, that I could just go to work, do my job, and people would leave me alone. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna do my job, I'm gonna eat my lunch, I'm gonna clock out, I'm gonna keep it moving. They don't leave you alone. Like, they make you their business. They don't mind their own business. Like, they see you're happy, oh no, you're not social enough. Oh, you're not doing this. Oh, I get my work done in a certain amount of time. It don't matter. We're here at 5, you stay at 5. But no, you can leave at 4, but we're all hanging around. Well, hang around, but I'm leaving at 4.
So after the feedback, we decided to go back to the larger room, and here's the official episode.
Everyone, and welcome to Doctored Up, where 3 educational doctors come together and share their life experiences with the audience. And if you're here, that means you want to be a part of this. But not only that, we want to be a part of your life and share your experiences as well. So this program allows us to interact, starting from us to you. But please check out the comments below and give us your input on what you see here. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to talk about why we do what we do. Why do we have a YouTube station or a podcast program? Why do we have that? Which one of the ladies would like to share first about why we do this program?
Maybe we should introduce ourselves first.
Ah, that's a great idea. See, that's why we need 3 doctors. Would you like to start?
Sure, I'm Dr. Fifi.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bob.
And I'm Dr. K.
Again, 3 educational doctors with a myriad of experiences, over 50 years of combined experience, and we would like to share that experience with you. So
I think
why?
it's over
60
years.
Yeah.
60
It's well over
years.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, all of us.
Over 60 years of experience. So if it has happened, we've experienced it. If we haven't experienced it, it is not a thing. It's not a thing.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't
It ain't
exist.
happening.
But why? Why do we do what we do, ladies?
Well, I think it depends on how you want to look at it, because you can look at it as we're teachers or we're educators, right? And I guess you think about the avenue in which we, I know it's going to sound kind of superior, in which we impart knowledge, right? I would say if we're talking about the purpose of this podcast, as far as why we do what we do, I would say our lives are examples, or at least we feel that on some level, you know, the purpose of our life. There's no way you go through the things you go through from a childhood to adulthood, and it's not meant to teach or meant to show a different path, or to show how people can overcome, or how they can just basically get through. So sometimes this, or most of the time, it's usually about the journey. And people just need help along their journey. And because we are service people, and because in our heart we are here specifically to serve, we want our life to also be of service to people. And this is just another way to do it, because of course we've done it through actual education and actual teaching, mentoring, you know, leadership and things like that. So I would say, from my perspective, the purpose of Doctored Up is, for one thing, we're not perfect. You know, we're imperfectly perfect. You know, we could be what you could call flawed, because we all are. But at the same time, we have something to give and something to, like I said before, impart. So with all that being said, this is called Doctored Up, which took us a while to come to, because we're doctored up. You know, there's so much, we have been broken down, built back up. You know, we've taken pieces here and pieces there. And if you know, like in our culture, we know what doctored up means. Something doesn't taste right, you're going to mix a few seasonings in, you know, add a few other ingredients to make sure that you doctor it up to just be edible, you know, or sufficient for what you need, and or in order to thrive, which is what we're doing. And I just feel like that's what Doctored Up is about. We can do that in a spiritual way, we can impart that, or we can just do it in a motivational way, just basically giving our experiences. And of course, we don't know everything. Therefore, we also expect to be taught. We expect to learn through this experience as well. And so it's really an interchange type thing.
Thank you, Dr. Cat, for that. Dr. Fee, why do you do what you do?
Why do what I do? Well, in the context of this podcast, I was excited to collaborate with you two doctors on this process, because we seem to be in a similar, very different but similar stages in our careers and lives, and at a transition point. And so after you've gotten a few years under your belt professionally and just in life, on the journey of life anyway, you experience some tests and trials, and some great times as well. And so for me, it's important to, it gives your life more meaning and more purpose. It feels more purposeful when you can go through those challenges, and then, as Dr. Kat was share with others how you made those transitions and some missteps you may have made along the way, and help people circumvent those same mistakes, or maybe just help them navigate because sometimes you can't get around it, you just got to go through it. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's important, and I find a lot of fulfillment in helping others to learn from my process or my journey. And so if you're hyper focused on just what you're dealing with, it's easy to get to lose sight of what's important. We're here for each other. We're here as a community, and we all have to lean on each other here. And this is just a microcosm of the bigger picture, which is community and leaning on each other and learning from each other. And so it's important to me to be able to share my experiences, and I thought this would be an awesome vehicle to do that. And so again, I'm excited to be working with you all to do that.
Wow, excellent. Well, I think the common thread here you will hear is a sense of service to others. And in this practice, we believe in supporting other people, not just helping ourselves. I think also you'll agree that when you are a doctor of any type, you're typically in a practice. Mm-hmm. It's not that you're perfect in what you do, but you've reached a certain level and then you're practicing your craft. We practice education, but we also practice this thing called life. And as we learn, we share it with others. Now, we didn't start from ground zero. We stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us, those people who decided to pour into us and to help us in our career, in our lives. And that is what we want to do for the people who are watching or sharing this experience with us via YouTube or via our podcast. We want to be able to share our experiences with you so that you can stand on our shoulders and not have to start from ground zero. We want to help others be better. It's what a practice is like. It's what a practice is for. It's the responsibility of those who have the knowledge to share. And that is what we want to do. So in this podcast and this YouTube channel, we will be sharing our experiences and our knowledge with you. And we hope that you would do the same. Again, we're not perfect. We have a lot more to learn, and we believe that we can learn a lot from you. Now, do you have to be a doctor to share? Absolutely not. We know and respect the experiences of all people, and we want you to share no matter what your academic background is. You can be a part of this. We can be a part of you, and that is what we desire.
And let's be clear, this is not a podcast about education, because it's not. Now, that is our expertise, and it's not our only expertise. Therefore, you will hear a lot about education, but we talk about everything, because we're from the same walks of life, but with different paths. So we have different things that we've gone through. And we'll talk about every aspect of basically this human existence. So it's going to be about more than education, but it will be about education as well, because we at this point are experts in education.
Not only that, I think we're experts at moving. Man, our careers have taken us in
transitions.
Yes, because we've gone through many transitions.
Right. Yes. So,
and we can help. Oh man, we can help you with that too.
And education is actually not our first careers. So we have experience in other areas as well, or other fields and other careers besides education, even though it has been the dominant career that we've had in our life.
Dr. Cat, I think that's a great segue into introducing ourselves and telling the audience about who we are, briefly share our experiences with them so that they will know exactly who they're dealing with here.
So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I don't want to get into every job I've had, because I've had several. But when I first started out, my first degree was mass media arts, public relations. So I started out in public relations, and then I did marketing. And from there, I became a teacher. And from there, not just teaching, but then, instructional coaching and consulting and, different levels, from district level to director levels, just different things. But majority, like I said, was education, but I've done other things too, especially on the side. So that's me. What would you say?
For me, I've done a lot of things. I had a career in the military before becoming an educator, where I served 8.5 years in the U.S. Army in the Corps of Engineers, both as an enlisted soldier and a commissioned officer. I served during Desert Shield and Desert Storm, which was an exciting time for me, if you can imagine. And then once I left the military, I decided to go into education, where I started as a substitute teacher.
Wow.
Yes, many, many years ago. A substitute teacher, and then I became a paraeducator, then later a certified teacher, and then an instructional coach, and later after that, a district administrator, a school administrator. I've done it all from paraeducator all the way up to superintendent. So I've had a very colorful experience in K-12 education. But in addition to that, I've also served as an adjunct professor at the university level for 14 years. 14 years. And a college administrator for one.
Oh, wow.
So yes, I've done a lot of things. Yeah, but that's who I am in a nutshell. What about you, Dr. P?
So I started out in higher education is where my career primarily took place. So as a student in undergraduate, during my undergraduate studies, I worked in the registrar's office for that entire time as an undergrad. Then I worked an additional year there and then transitioned. I just stayed on college campuses. I never seemed to leave. And so from there, I worked in administrative roles in higher education, but made the transition to the classroom back in 2015. And so up to this point, that's what I've been doing. But I feel God doing some things at the moment, like I mentioned earlier, being in transition. Not quite sure where I'm going to land, but excited about where He's taking my journey. And so I'm very open. I prayed a very specific prayer about being open to what this next chapter of my life would look like. And so stay tuned. I'm waiting to see what God does as well. So, but yes, the majority of my career, really all of it has been in higher education. So
I forgot, we do a lot of consulting. How do you get that?
Yeah,
all the training
really,
that
man.
we do, that's what we're known for. And most people, if they know us or recognize us, training. They're like, oh, I went to one of your trainings before, or, you know, we write curriculum, we've sold curriculum, you know, we write books. We do a lot. You know, we can't talk about it all now. I'm sure it will come out as we have our different episodes and talk about different things. And again, everything will not be about education, but life experience, a lot of our life experience has been in education. So it will still come up in a lot of our job experiences and even on, you know, our work experiences when we talk about different coworkers and bosses and things. For the most part, it's going to be education because that's where we spend the majority of our career.
yeah, that'll be like the backdrop, but there's a whole other level of just
There's marriage,
interpersonal,
there's divorce,
interpersonal.
there's children, no children,
interactions.
there's pets, there's so much more to us than just educators. So even if we were to answer the question of who are we, part of who we are definitely is an educator or a teacher, but it's not all of it. So that's why we want to make sure you know this podcast cannot be about just education because we are way more than just that.
And we know that you all are as well. And so my expectation is that our audience is going to get much more out of our conversations around the spiritual, life, relationships, and with the backdrop being, you know, maybe our professional settings at times, but certainly not. That's not
going to be the predominant
subject. Right?
No, it will not, because I, especially at this point in our life, we're always going to be teachers by nature. You know what I mean? Just teachers in life, and even educators if you want to, because I think they're interchangeable. But at the same time, who we really are, our core selves, is way more than that. And we have to be able to share that because, again, we've had the life experience that most people around our age or even younger have had. You know, like I said, we will talk about marriage, we will talk about divorce, we will talk about just partnerships and friendships. We'll talk about children, we'll talk about our pets, you know, and things like that. So there's just a myriad of things that we'll end up talking about. So please don't feel like if you're not an educator that you can't listen, because believe me, it's going to be about way more. Absolutely. It's us being spiritual beings, having this human experience, and that's what we want to talk about. So to be all aspects of that. And at the same time, we want to have special guests to come and talk about things that we're not experts in, you know, and also to make sure that we're catering to our audience, knowing that whatever needs that you have, if something arises that we don't know about, then we'll make sure we have the right expert or do the right research before we bring it to you. because we want to be responsible with that as well.
So as I shared, we have over 60 years of education, but we have over 150 years of lifetime experiences. Now, I'll let you decide how to divide that 150 years.
We're not talking age.
Oh my God.
No, what? Over 150 years of lifetime experiences.
Somebody ask him that. It will be for him. Somebody ask him that. Okay. We don't want to talk about that.
I have most of them, of course.
Okay.
But our desire is to share all of who we are with all of who you are. And we hope that you would share all of who you are with us.
Yes.
So that we can become even more of a complex being, even more sophisticated, even more knowledgeable, so that we can share our knowledge together. Together, guys, we all will be doctored up. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So we're excited for the journey. We certainly hope that you are too. We're looking forward to so much with you, sharing all of our experiences and listening to yours, and then merging some and creating some new experiences. If you desire to be a part of this, then please comment in the comments below. If you think you would like to be a guest on our show one day, let us know that as well. And if there's anything you would like to share about who you are, or what makes you tick, or what you think is important about your life or your lifetime experiences, please share them with us in the comments below. Thank you so much for choosing to share this time with Dr. Up. We hope to see you again. Have a great day.
Also, let me add this one thing. First of all, well, two things. Please like the video because it matters, right?
It does.
And secondly, please subscribe because what you're going to see is that this is the beginning stages. So please don't be put off by seeing that, oh, they only have 1 follower, or they have 5, or they have 100, because you're just going to be here from the beginning. But it's important you have to start somewhere. So please don't be put off by that. I can guarantee you that what you see is going to be consistent, and then it will also elevate. So please stay on this journey with us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much for being a part of this program, this show. We look forward to sharing ourselves with you and you with us. Have a great day.